TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
Welcome to this edition of TravelWise, which is an interview special as I focus on a rising star in the hospitality sector across the UAE, Middle East and Africa. The organisation is Dubai-born and based Aleph Hospitality, and I have the pleasure of talking with the founder and CEO, Bani Haddad.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard.
So Bani, nice to have you on the podcast. So let us start off. We've got some big news coming our way, but let's start off and set the scene regarding Aleph Hospitality. What do you actually do?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, first of all, Phil, for having me. It's great to be part of your podcast. Aleph Hospitality was set up really to change the way hospitality management is conducted in the Middle East and Africa. We were really, and we still are, on a mission to drive benefits, additional benefits for the hotel investors, but also for the hotel brands in our parts of the world. Where in the US and in Europe, it's very common to have a third-party operator, an independent management company, run hotel assets. It was, up until we set up our company, Aleph Hospitality, it was almost unheard of in this part of the world. So we decided to, start changing this and introduce a different way, which would add a number of benefits for the hotel owners. 3 of them are the most important in our mind. One is additional financial benefits through tighter control over the expenses, but also more focus on the revenues. But also it's giving the owners a bit more control over the day-to-day operation. And a third part, which is extremely important, is more flexibility when it comes to their contractual terms. For the brands, we're acting almost as their development team. So we're helping them spread their footprint across the region faster. We are reaching to markets they're not really interested to operate in. We're allowing them to access properties probably with a smaller key count sometimes. So they're seeing their flags expanding faster through companies like Aleph Hospitality.
So being a third-party partner with the hotels and the owners, I can see from what you're saying, it means you can look at, you mentioned the financial aspects. Well, I suppose the brands themselves will do what they are best at doing, and that's looking after their hotel guests, the stayers and those who are going in for perhaps leisure activities using the F&B options. And also you said about the development of the brand in perhaps places they're not familiar with.
True, absolutely. And if I may, the more the years are passing by, the less I'm liking the term third-party operators. It feels like we're this third-party wheel, and we're actually, all we are is we're a fully fledged hotel management company. We're providing service for hotel owners as a priority for hotel investors, but we're working with the brands as well. So we're a fully fledged independent hotel management company. And we're letting exactly do what you said. The brands do their job, what they do best, tell the brand globally, create the awareness about the brand, develop their loyalty membership programs, develop their IT platforms. And so we're kind of utilizing these great benefits and handling the day-to-day operation by being closer to the hotel owners, to the assets, to our teams on the ground, which again drives a number of benefits. Us being much more reactive, much more hands-on, reactive to the changes in the market, reactive to the hotel investor requirements, reactive to our guests who are coming to sleep in our rooms. So it's really a win-win situation. We're always telling investors and brands, we're offering the best of both worlds. We're offering the closeness, the proximity, the hands-on approach, while giving you the knowledge of the local market. But we're giving you access to all these amazing international brands as well. So you're getting, without having to go through the big infrastructures and the multiple layers that you need to go through when you're dealing with multinational companies. You're dealing with a human-sized organization, which is extremely professional. So you're getting the best of both worlds, basically.
A human-sized operation. I like that. And from our lexicon of words, we will drop from now on the third-party operator.
Thank you.
Okay? So that's out of the window now. Okay. Right. We're going to look at the growth of Aleph Hospitality, the past, the present, and the future. But some late news, or the latest news, I should say, is your association with a brand we're perhaps not familiar with in the Middle East, but a French brand called Fauchon Hospitality. So tell us about this.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most, if not the most exciting news we've announced in the last few years. We're very, very proud of this. Fauchon is one of the most recognizable French brands when it comes to gastronomy, patisserie, the French art of providing sweets and tea. They've been established since 1886. They're really synonym of luxury and high-end goods. A few years ago, they've started venturing beyond the gastronomy and the patisserie. They started venturing into hotels. They've opened the Hotel Place de la Madeleine, where the Fauchon Maison house was born. So they have a hotel, Fauchon Hotel in Paris, Place de la Madeleine, and they've opened another one in Kyoto. We are very proud to announce that we became the exclusive developers and operators of Fauchon Hotel in this part of the world, meaning the Middle East and Africa. For us, it's very important for a number of reasons. It is allowing us to move into the luxury lifestyle segment, which we're very passionate about. It's allowing us, most importantly, to bring to our markets a brand which is very niche, and we believe that there will be very high demand for this type of product. Fauchon is built around four main pillars. One of them is the glamorous French glamorous aspect. So, and then we have the location. So you'll always find the hotels in a AAA location. Then arts and the artisans. The brand, the hotels are being designed with the local. With a local touch. So they're French, they're Parisian, but we're always going to utilize local artists and artisans to bridge this gap between France and where the hotel is used locally. So you'll find in many hotels that are existent or being planned that there are local artists and artisans being involved either in the artwork, but sometimes also in the furniture. And then the fourth element, which is very important and quite unique, I believe, is what they call the Mesdames. So it's it's the hotel which is targeted towards female, so from a design and service aspect. And these four elements make the brand so unique, and we believe that it will be an amazing success story in this part of the world, which is flooded by brands,
Absolutely. I was going to say that to you, but what you've been talking about there, those four pillars and the different aspects, in my mind, I'm just conjuring up images of the French gastronomy, the art, the location. So I'm seeing a fabulous picture in my mind. And that fourth pillar could be a huge attraction for considering the culture of society in the Middle East, in the UAE and beyond. So that fourth part could be very important when you say the Madame.
Yes, I know, absolutely. And it's funny because some of our local clients in the GCC, at least, to whom we've already mentioned, and contacts we've already mentioned, you could see, some of the ladies who are investors or active in this field, you could see sparkles in their eyes when we talk about Fauchon hotels. And so that's really for us, bringing this to Aleph Hospitality is really a testament of how we're evolving, we're growing, and we have now the capacity of bringing interesting products and contributing to the development of the hospitality industry in this part of the world.
The eyes were lighting up, sparkles in the eyes of possible guests and investors. So it's very early days, you've just signed, but what is the perhaps potential or possible pipeline for the brand to be active in the GCC?
Well, I mean, so we're going to be obviously quite opportunistic. This is again a luxury lifestyle a brand, so we're not going to roll out 30 of them. Each key city will take one or two. The beauty, however, of what we're thinking is, and how to develop this brand is, we probably won't have just hotels. So the byproducts we're going to have are residences as well, serviced residences, high-end serviced residences. We're going to have resorts, and we're even thinking to develop beach clubs with this French glamorous, which is completely non-existent product today in a city, especially places like Dubai and increasingly in Saudi Arabia, where beach clubs are becoming very important to the local social life and outings. So bringing this aspect of French glamorous beach club, we believe will be a great opportunity as well.
Fabulous proposition, and the timing is probably just right, following on from COVID and the excitement regarding travel and hospitality which exists at the moment. So let me say, this is the TravelWise podcast. I have the pleasure of talking to Bani Haddad, who is the founder and the managing director of Aleph Hospitality. So let's have a look at your organization. When did you set up, and how has it grown to where you are now?
So we've been now in existence since 2015. We're a company based in Dubai. We're very proud of that, homegrown company in Dubai. We today operate 12 assets. We're the leaders in our segment, meaning the independent hotel management model. With so far, our growth has been in Africa. So we're by far the leaders. We have 11 operating assets in Africa. Last year, yes, now we can call it last year. We've opened our first hotel in the Middle East in Doha, quite a large property, 450 keys, right before the World Cup, and we've been extremely successful. And we have about 15 hotels currently under the various stages of development in the Middle East and Africa. Our portfolio consists of unbranded and branded hotels, resorts, city center, small, large. So it's quite a diverse portfolio.
Yeah, give us some idea of some of the brands you are working with.
So we work with likes of Intercontinental, Wyndham, Ramadas, Best Western. We have a couple of properties signed with Marriott as well. So we have a wide range of brands, wide stable. We've been an approved operator with all of the international brands. We have properties with Accor under the M Gallery as well brand, which is quite an exciting brand. So we're present with, and we have signed deals and operating hotels with most of the international brands. And we're, of course, as we're signing hotel management agreements, every time what we do is we select what is the best brand for this location. So this is one of the advantages we provide our investors. It's getting this expertise and advisory in selecting, negotiating franchise agreements as well, which they get part of the package of being with us. And our targets, looking at the few years to come, by 2026, we're looking at operating a minimum of 50 hotels in the region. And given our existing portfolio, the existing number of hotels in the pipeline, it seems well within reach. So we're very excited.
Yeah, quite right. Quite rightly so. So you mentioned a number of brands there. All of those are household names. So as you said, you have to be approved. So that's it's an endorsement of what you are doing and your services you provide. So before we get on to looking ahead to an event in June, which is key because it's in a key area, let's have a look at your thoughts on the future for hospitality industry as we move ahead out of the COVID pandemic. I just want to make a quick parallel in some ways, perhaps, with aviation. come back very, very strong. Their biggest challenge at the moment in terms of the airlines operating, is finding staff, from pilots through to cabin crew. Is that the same with hospitality at the moment?
It is in many ways. It has been, especially right after the pandemic, the rebound was the same fashion that it was for the aviation. It was felt in exactly the same way for the hotel industry. The rebound was so fast, so strong that hotels and restaurants had difficulties recruiting. I think we're past this stage now. The hotel industry has always faced, it was always on everyone's mind. It has always been, for as long as I can remember, staffing and recruiting the right talent has always been on everyone's mind. I think we are in a part of the world where we're blessed. In the Middle East, in the GCC, we have a pool of talent from around the world who are always so excited to come and work here, because it's such a dynamic environment with so many career opportunities and growth opportunities. And we can tap in the African market, the Asian market, the European market. So it has always been quite an exciting market. In Africa, where we operate, it's again a booming industry. It's still very early stages, but it's growing so fast. And locally, there is a huge talent with the right attitude, not always with the right training, with the right background, but with the right attitude. And we're taking the time to train these people and to grow them as we are growing our portfolio there. So yes, it has been challenging, but I think it has always been. Compared to my days when I used to work in France, I can tell you, working here and finding talent is a piece of cake.
That's good to know. That's good to know. A piece of cake, piece of French gâteau. Okay,
bisous from Fauchon.
Yes, of course, absolutely. That is exciting news. So, Africa's a key country for you, and in June, a couple of months' time, of course, in Kenya, Nairobi will be the annual African Hotel Investment Forum. So, what's your participation, and what can you expect from that event?
Yeah, we've been very active with the AHEF event in Africa since the creation of Aleph. We've always been gold sponsors. We're very supportive of the event, and it's quite an important one for us because, as I said, Africa is a market which is booming. It's an emerging market.
Sure.
So, and what the guys at Bench have, I have to give them this credit, have managed to do is moving the event from one country to another over the years, which really has helped, in my opinion, has helped the event remain very dynamic and attract a different crowd every year. So it's a very important event for us. We sponsor it. Quite a few members of our team attend, and it's a great opportunity for us to connect with some of the existing clients that we have, but most importantly, we find it as an amazing platform to find and present our services to new prospects and new investors.
Indeed. So on that note, I'll wish you all the best for the future, and thank you so much for joining us on the TravelWise podcast.
Thank you again for having me. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure. And hopefully I'm going to be catching up with someone from Fauchon in the not too distant future. Bani, thanks very much indeed.
TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.
And coming away soon, I will indeed follow on with this podcast, and I'll be catching up with the CEO of Fauchon Hospitality, Jacques-Olivier Chauvin. So until then, I wish you safe travels. And if you would like to have a podcast production for your organisation, do get in touch with me. Drop me an email, philblizzardmedia@gmail.com.
A Phil Blizzard radio production. TravelWise with Phil Blizzard. News, views and interviews.